So we have to try to identify the opportunities. So what are the opportunities or problem available? This is very much the first step in a planning process. And what we do here is we try to have our own constraints and opportunities. So based on the environment, or it can be due to the government regulations, or there is some change in the existing cultural norms or something like that, we will have to have some opportunity. So we have to identify the opportunity, or we can even change the technology or a production procedure, or even sometimes we can change the goods or services. So we try to identify what are the opportunities which is available. So the basic first step in planning process is to identify the opportunity, and based on the opportunity we can try to adopt or attune to the organization and to its environment. So the planning tries to facilitate in the adoption procedure of the organization and its environment. So it requires some skills. And the second one is the objective establishment. So when after getting the uh, after identifying the opportunity, we try to collect and analyze the relevant information. So based on that, we try to establish the objectives. The main source of information can be classified as we are getting it from internal source or external source. So as far as the external source is concerned, we can get it from suppliers, customers, professional people, trade publications, newspapers, magazines, even conferences. Also, we can get some objectives. Then regarding the internal source, so it is within our organization. So by conducting meetings or by the written reports, we are getting some information, or sometimes contacting with the supervisors or own ranks, even from subordinates, we can try to get the information, and we try to establish the objectives. So when we are trying to establish the objectives, we have to first fix the objectives in every area. What is the objective or performance or the result we want? So we try to get that particular thing based on the growth of our business, or in order to survive or sustain in the competition, we fix the objective. So in fixing the objective, we have to talk about the goals. So as far as the goals is concerned, whether that is for the benefit of the organization. So we have to know what are the strategies we have to adopt. So based on the strategic plans. So sometimes it can be based on the single-use plans or the multi-use plans. So singular plans, we know it is a program, budget, and strategies. And regarding multi-use plans, we have the policy, procedure, rules, all these things we'll see in the next slides. Regarding the establishment of objectives, so it is necessary that we fix the objective as a part of the learning adoption methodology and responses of the organization. So the management here is very keen in determining the objective which is attainable, and it has to take into interest who are the party stakeholders interest, or also to be taken into consideration, that is the members or groups which has its own reasons for contributing for the organization's effort or growth. Then planning premises. So planning premises is an important term which we have in our planning process, how we are going to do it. So that is very important when we talk about the planning process premises. That is where the planning is going to take place. So we have to take many things. There are some factors which are certain, and there are some factors which are uncertain. So based on the uncertainties which may occur in the environment, we have to have some important components of the internal environment. So we have to look into the technology, then structural relationship, and even the design, organization design, attitude of the employees, and morale of the employees, even the decision making process, the type of managerial decision making process. Regarding the internal achievement, the environment, as I told you, it is only within the control of the management. So internal is always within the control of the management, and it is based on the appropriately trying to adjust and adopt to the requirements of the external environment. And regarding uncertainties, this is, as I told you, internal environment is within our control. But when we talk about the external environment, some external factors which are not within our control. So we can talk about it as it is beyond our control. In such cases, we have to think about these uncertain activities. So that is due to the government policies or even the physical policies of the government based on the economic condition of the particular situation or situation during that crisis period, or sometimes there is a change in the buying behavior or population trends, and even talking about the preferences. So when there is a change in the taste and preferences, even the buying behavior will have some effect on it. So we have to take all these conditions into activity, and we have to have some assumptions. So based on that only, we will have the planning premises. Then talking about alternatives. So as we are talking about opportunities, when there is an opportunity, there should be an alternative also to attain. So we have to identify. So when we identify alternative, we have to evaluate the alternative. So we have to examine the alternative. So what are the alternative course of action which we can do? So we can example, we can even have a objective of trying to have maximum profit. And there is as we know, when we want to have more profit, one of the strategies to increase the production. So in that way also we can do it. Or sometimes we have to intensify the sale effect. So making sales more effective also, we can have more profit. So there are many things. So based on the market, we can decide the alternative factors. So we try to examine the alternative course of actions. So we have to understand the observation. That is, what is observation and what is the response. So the awareness of business opportunity or problem. Then we have to have correct identification of what is the result and try to diagnose the result. So based on that only, we try to understand. So first we are, as we are knowing, we try to evaluate examine the alternative thing. Then next one is weighing the alternative. That is evaluation of alternative. So as we know, evaluation of alternative is putting into action. So when we try to put into action, we have to have different points into mind. That is whether it is effective in contributing. That is, whatever result we want, will this objective or course of action will bring out the desired result. That is a fixed organizational objective. Or when there is an organizational change, will this particular effect will withstand that particular changes, and they will be able to adopt, or will be able to have flexible changes, and they have to have integration. So they have to think about the integration of course of action. So whatever is course of action is being done, they have to try to integrate with the course of action. Then next one is the choice of alternative. That is the selection of a course of alternative. So when we are trying to evaluate various alternatives, we can, based on the preferences and prejudices, we can select, and even we can use some mathematical or statistical tools or techniques. So based on that, we can choose one or more other courses of action. So when you are putting the plan of action, whatever ultimately we have chosen, that will be the optimum decision we are taking, and that will be the best alternative we have chosen. So supplementary plan or a secondary plan or supporting plan, even that we have to formulate. So that is the another important step in the formulation of planning or steps in planning. We try to determine the secondary plans. So as far as the secondary plans are concerned, we talk about the flow. So from the basic plan, what is a secondary plan? So this particular secondary plan, they are only meant in order to achieve the main objective. So we already fixed the main objective. The secondary or a supportive plan is only going to help us to achieve the main objective. So it is only a supplementary thing which you are going to use it. So as I told you, when we want to increase the production, then we regarding secondary plan is with respect to purchase of raw material or consumable stores or acquisition of necessary things. So plan and equipment, hiring and training of workers. Then regarding providing for future evaluation. So as there is a supporting plan, when we are implementing, we try to know the future evaluation. So whether in future this achieving, that is what has been a predetermined objective, whether the selected plan is trying to match with the objective, so along the proper line, whether it is in tune with the objective what we have done it. So we have to necessarily see to that the system what we have implemented, and we have to check whether it is going on well with the sequence of activity. And sequence of activity, we have to check that, and we have to evaluate and appraise the plan. So this is a sequential activity, and this is only called as the corrective action in time. Now this is the structure of the planning process, and we have an overview of that. I already discussed strategic plan. It is for a time span of 3 to 5 years, and here we are not talking about the resources. We have only a broad level of classification objective over here, and we have the normal operation resources, and that next one is a tactical planning. The time span is 1 to 5 years, and here we talk about the raw material, the resources, machinery, manpower, everything is taken into consideration. So strategic planning is made at the top level. Then tactical planning is made at the middle level. Then operational planning, it is sometimes less than 1 year, or sometimes for a shorter duration of 6 months also. And this is the real level where operations are put into action, and it is like for related to the day-to-day activity or routine activity. So here we have a specified task as a project, targets is fixed, and personal resources, timing, budget, all these are to be taken into consideration. And with the results, whatever we are obtaining out of the results of this particular planning process, that is made as a decision of the management. Now the planning process, as we know, where are we now? So planning process is only to bridge the gap, or to know the strength, or to put into action the objective, or to attain the objective. So we have to know about the SWOT analysis, that is strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, with the company summary, and the environment, that is a competitive environment. And from there we are moving to achieve the mission and vision, that is the goals and objective of the organization. So this goals or objective or vision and mission is already fixed by the organization, and that is the main objective of the organization. How we are going to achieve this? So we have to have a creative direction to achieve it. So that can be done with the departments, various departments. So we have the marketing or sales, finance or accounting functions, or we have facilitating a work through studios or something, or management organization. So how will we know whether we have reached it? We have to track the process. So as I told you, planning is a continuous process, and it is a sequential process. We have to measure the program and see the initiative, what has been done, and the results, the financial results are to be monitored and analyzed in order to know the success of the planning process. So as far as the types of planning is concerned, it is in turn classified based on the breadth, time frame, specifically for what reason, and based on the frequency of use. So as far as the breadth is concerned, we have the strategic, operation and tactical together based on the time frame. So whether it is for a shorter duration or a longer duration, we have the long term or the short term plans. Then regarding the specific whether it has some direction, or it is for a specific department wise or function wise, also we can classify the planning. Then single use or standing use. So single use is only for one time, and standing use is already existing, which we try to take it as a planning procedure. In hierarchy of plans, we have this long-term plans are always with respect to vision and mission, that is the purpose or mission, objectives, policies and strategies. Short-term plans here with respect to rules, procedures, programs and budgets. So the top management always thinks about the long-term plan. So they have the objective, vision and mission to be achievable and they fix it. With the middle level, we have the standing short-term plan, single-use short-term plan. With respect to middle and first level management, we have the policies, procedures and budgets. So we have already discussed what is policies, procedures and budgets in our previous sessions. Strategic plans, here in strategic plans we talk about the competitive opportunities and threats. So as I told, it is with respect to SWOT analysis. So what is our strength and what is our weakness of the organization? Only when we know our strength and weaknesses, so we can convert our opportunities into our strength. And next is with respect to how to attain the desired position, that is in the competitive advantage, how to use the competitive advantage or how we are going to compete in the particular environment in an effective way. That is the main vision and mission of the organization. That is with respect to the top management goals. So that is called as a strategic plans. Then regarding the tactical plans, we try to have a blueprint. So what we are going to do at a strategic plan, we have a blueprint of it, and this based on the blueprint we try to achieve one thing. So based on a stepwise movement like we do try to achieve. So these plans, they are often termed for a shorter duration and they are done by the middle level managers. And operational plans, it is always with respect to the very short plan on, they are very usually with a, they do with the very in a practical way, and they are in the form of based on the strategic plan. So it covers the entire organization goals and objectives, and they are being put into action by the day-to-day affairs of the organization. So now we have the difference between strategic plans, tactical plans and operational plans. So as far as the focus of attention is concerned, strategic plans are always having the strategic goals, then tactical goals and operational goals. Regarding the persons who are involved, the levels of manager, in strategic plans, they are framed by top level managers. In tactical plans, they are framed by the middle level managers, and as I told you, operational level, it is at the lower level. A time frame is for strategic plan, it is for a longer duration, so it may be for more than 3 to 5 years. And in tactical plan, it can be from less than 3 years, and your operation plan, it can be within 12 months. The scope is a strategic plan is always focusing on the vision and mission. So they try to have the overall objective of the organization, or they look into the overall organization goals. Then tactical plans, what we do is they try to relate to departmental goals. And in case of operation plans, we try to relate to goals for different units. So each subunits, they have their own plans and ideas. Environment, in strategic plan, they try to relate to the organization with their external environment. And in tactical plans, they focus on both external and internal environment. In case of operation plans, the more focus is on how to use the resources, and they try to focus on the internal environment alone. So in tactical plan, we try to focus both on external internal environment. But in strategic plan, we talk about the competition, change in business environment, preference and change of customers. All these are related to strategic plans. Now we will talk about the difference between objective and strategy. So this objective, as we know, it is only defined as an end towards whatever activity we are trying to do and efforts we are putting. So based on what we are trying to do it, what is the direction to achieve it, that becomes the direction is objective. Strategy is how the plan, what type of plan we have in order to achieve the objective. So objective is already fixed, and the way how do we achieve the objective, it becomes a strategy. Objective is always focusing on a broader term, and it is with respect to general issues, And in case of strategy, the focus is on a specific objective. So it is based on a specific goal or specific thing, and it is always in the light of competitors' strategy. So my competitor he is reducing the cost of the product, then naturally I have to reduce my price of the product, or I have to adopt to some other strategy in order to stay in the market, and I have to follow some strategy based on the strategy of my competitor. Then regarding the objective, these objectives can be measurable. So example, we can take a sales increase by 10 percentage. But in case of strategy, it is only the result what we get. So based on the result, based on the action, the particular course of action, what we are doing, or based on the resources, what we get, allocating resources, only based on that we can try to achieve the strategy. Now we look into the difference between the method and budget. So method, as we know, the meaning specified with respect to how we are doing it, the manner in which you are performing the task, that is with respect to methods. Regarding budget, so it is an expected, so it's for a future term budget. And we express the result. So the results are expressed in the form of numerical terms. Then the purpose of my method is to standardize. So we have a duty of work or doing some jobs, and how do we do the routine jobs? That is a methodology or method. And budget is to have control over the activities. And in case of method, we have standing plans, and in budget, as we know, budget is an example of single-use plans. Now, difference between policies, strategies, procedures, and methods. So, policies, as I told you, it is a general statement, and it is achievable. So, we fix the objective, and it is achievable based on the individual's effort. Strategy is how business try to achieve the desired goal. So, based on the comprehensive plans, what the business is put in by the strategy. So whatever strategy the company or the organization is trying to do in order to achieve the result what they want. Then procedure, we know it is a step done in a chronological order, and we have to follow so it is a sequence of activity, and there is a connection between each activity, and the procedure should be followed, and it is always in order to enforce a policy. The procedure is enforcing a policy. And regarding methods, it's also a step by step of doing a procedure, and in order to do or complete the task. So whatever step of procedure we to take and do it in order to do the task or finish the task, that is called as methods. Then policies are a little bit less flexible. And strategies, as we know, it changes from time to time. So it is more flexible, and it is only for a temporary period. Procedures are always procedures, and they are very rigid, and they are not flexible. Methods are also flexible. And policies tries to focus on the routine functions. So we have the routine functions, and it is being done on the prescribed manner. Regarding strategies, it is only for a long-term scope of business solving challenging problems. So we try to define the problem, or so we try to bring out a solution. So it is how we are going to give the solution. So that is, we have some problem, and how we try to solve the problem. That is the strategy. And the procedures, we have focus on how we are going to attain the organizational objective. So how this policy is going to focus in order to enforce and attain the organizational objective. And methods mostly focus on how to complete the task. So whatever task has been given, how we are going to complete the task in a very efficient way. Then types of plans, we have the objective, strategy, policies, procedure, and rules. So this is for your understanding, so which I have already explained. And we have the vision, mission, goals, and strategy. As I told you, all this objective is mainly focusing on the vision and mission. So this goal or objective, they we can interchange. The goal or objective are one and the same or similar. The main goal every company is having is to have a profit. But beside having profit, they have some other goals also. So, like they want to have more market share, or they want to become a market leader, or they want to have better growth, or they have to have the social responsibility towards the business, and they have the environmental responsibility. So, all these things. So, whatever goal has been fixed, based on the fixing of the goals only, all this planning process are becoming complementary to the organization goal. So they try to focus more on profit goal, and they still they don't think about the unfair practices. So unfair practices cannot be done and should not be focused in an organization.